Here we go. Hi everyone, thank you so much for making the time and commitment to watch this video. All of us on the call just recently came back from our 2015 One Plexus convention in Phoenix, Arizona. To say that we are inspired and motivated is certainly an understatement. We're so excited to share all of the information that we learned while we were there with all of you. A couple things before we get started. You heard me just say One Plexus. If you look at this screen right now, we are not all on the same team, but yet we came together today to share this information with you that we felt was so important to share. It was hammered in our head many, many times by Tyrell Robinson, our CEO, One Plexus, one team, and we truly believe that we are the definition of that. Second, before I pass it on to our first person, the training we received this weekend was second to none. At the beginning of this year, Plexus hired Marianne Luciano. She is our new ambassador training leader. She gave us amazing training this weekend. We had several meetings in which we were in general sessions as a whole group, which was great. 8,000 amazing people in one room with inspirational keynote speakers. On Saturday, however, we had leveled training, which was incredible. There were 3 different sessions. We had an ambassador to gold session, senior gold to senior ruby session, and then our jewel session. Everybody here in this conference call was in one of those sessions, and our goal for this call is to share all of the information that we were given with you. So right now I'm going to hand it over to our first speaker, who is Nora Trudeau.
Everybody to use the front door.
Nora, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself. Jody, you need to mute yourself.
Hi, I just wanted to say anyone that knows me knows that before I went to the convention, I loved Plexus and I had passion. But after going to convention, I have passion and I'm not afraid to share it because the things that we saw at this convention, the people that we talked to, the integrity of the company has just been amazing for us. And we saw a lot of speakers who had amazing testimonies, both financial and health. But the one that I'm going to talk about is for all of us that day. She talked about credit cards. And, you know, I think at the time we're wondering a little why we're hearing about that. But I know why I heard about that, because at the end, what she had to say was that she was really happy with her weight loss. And in 2014, she lost 10 people that could have been healed or maybe not have passed away by health problems that Plexus could have helped. So she looked at the audience and she said, the next time you hesitate, please think of me and my family and share, you know? And that was like very impactful for me because I know sometimes you don't want to share because you don't want to hurt feelings or you don't think they want to hear it, but it has empowered me to share. And which leads me to, at the airport, there was a ton of Plexus shirts. And so it's really easy to share when there's a bunch of us, right? So my point to my team, you know, is, and to all of us, I think it's a great lesson, is that go out in twos. You know what I mean? Like, go out, wear a Plexus shirt, wear a Plexus hat, have your pen in your hand, you know, get a little something for your computer with Plexus on it, look official, be a business person, and people are going to ask you, especially if there's 2 of you, they're going to say, what's Plexus? And on the plane, 2 ladies asked me, they were like, wait a minute, we were just Googling that because there was so many in the airport. And I gave away 2, and one had fibromyalgia, one had Lyme disease, they had ADD in the family. The second plane, the stewardess said, I had my little thing on, I don't know if you all wear it, but I had it on because, you know what? It's another little thing that people are like, what is that necklace? And what is Plexus? And I got to tell the stewardess about it. And she sat right down. She's like, tell me more about it, you know? And she took a free day. And I followed up with her 3 days later. And I know I really have a good feeling about her. And we are helping people. I think that's the main thing that I took away from this convention is so many stories, similar stories and out of the ordinary stories of how Plexus helps people. So that's, I came back with the biggest passion. I don't care who I tell. I want to share it. And that's, so that's huge for me. And I think no matter who it is, if they're on your team or they're not on your team, if you live in a small town, find another person in that town, even if they're not on your team. Because the two of you sitting together at the park, at a restaurant, wherever it is, are going to attract attention for Plexus. And you're going to get, you're going to get customers and have people get healthy, So the second thing is when you do that, you have to have your information. So, like on the plane, the woman asked me, why is your probiotic different? Tell me about it, So E.B. Shadig, she's an Emerald Ambassador, and she was talking about that, just to know about your products. Like our ProBio is 30 times more than the normal ProBio. Ours has 5 different probiotics, and most don't have 5. Our accelerator has mood enhancer in it. Think of keywords that are going to get people to want the products and what's going to make them feel better. The energy for, if you take the Slim, it's for diabetics. It gives you energy. It helps you sleep. All of those things are going to inspire people to buy it and have your passion, share it, and that's it. So that's what I have to say about convention. And I am renewed. I feel like, when I started this a year ago, I feel renewed, and I more than ever. And I know next year I want to be on that stage and be an Emerald, and I want everybody with me. So that's what I took home, and I want everybody there next year. And if not, we're here to share with you. We want to share everything with you. Call us, ask us anything you want. So, and the next one that's going to speak is Stacy Wager.
Hi, my name is Stacy Wager. I'm a Gold Ambassador. I was at the Ambassador to Gold training at convention. The first speaker that we had, I lost my notes, was Big Al Schreiter. Am I saying that right? He is a great motivational speaker. We heard him on screen at Super Saturday, but seeing him in person was even more amazing. He had a lot to do with Super Saturday was his key phrase, I'm just curious, to try to use that phrase to get conversation started. So his big thing was how to get prospects, and as you're getting prospects, to how to avoid the objections that will come up during your conversation. So he, says, set some stage, listen to people talk negative, like they're not feeling good, have they, they're need some money, they're lost their jobs, things like that, and say something, well, would you like to do something about it? Ask them that question. Say, oh, I hear you're, not sleeping good at night. Would you like to do something about it? If they say yes, then say, his big phrase is, before I tell you how this works, let me tell you what happened to me. So make it personal. Tell them your story, so that's a way to overcome some of the objections of, how does it make you feel? How does it taste? How is it working with you? Like the business part of it. Talk about that first, and most of the time they won't be bringing up those objections, or you've made it such a great story that they won't want to talk about those objections. So that was a big phrase. Before I tell you how this works, let me tell you what happened to me. Give a very short story and try to hook them. How to wrap it up, he says, use 9 trained words. So what is going to be easier for you? Working nights and weekends, and missing your kids' baseball games, or working from home while they sleep? So make it their choice, and make it their decision, and not saying, what are you going to do? You're going to join my team, or you're not going to join my team? Make it so that they're making a rejection-free, giving them choices, and make it about them also. The next person that I sat and listened to was Jen Hawkins. She's a Diamond Ambassador. Her big thing was using social media. Social media is a very important tool that we all use in our business. It's very powerful, but she talked to us about how to use it correctly. So I'm going to really go quick with her tips, because there's tons of them. But The biggest thing and the biggest quote I said was, be a farmer, not a hunter. Be a farmer, not a hunter. Don't go hunting for your prospects, for your people. Cultivate them, get to know them, take care of them, and they will grow with you. It's a great social media is a great way to introduce people to Plexus, but it also should be a way to lead you into private conversation with them. It should not all be on Facebook or social media. If you are using social media, be consistent. People are watching always. So if you're on your first personal Facebook page, don't be negative. You know, your personal page and your work page, your Plexus page is the same. You should be using them the same. You should be positive. You should not be cursing. If you have a problem, you know, you should need to face your problem. Don't Facebook your problem. So try not to put all of your negative comments on Facebook. Don't curse, don't whine, present yourself honestly. Another thing is be engaging with other people. If you know, go to other people's pages, your friends, comment on their birthdays, comment on their things that are going on in their life, make a personal connection with people, making that it's not just all about the business. If there's an engagement or a birthday, you know, comment and let them know that you're interested in other things besides just Plexus, which we are. Let's see, let your passion, which I know all of us pretty much are out there, our passion for Plexus, our excitement, and we love Plexus. It's contagious. You know, post 3 times, you know, they say to post 3 times a day. Be encouraging, show your excitement, and also educate. Educate the people on the products as well as posting encouragement. But also to balance your personal life with your Plexus business. So it's not just business. Let them know something good about you. Also, if people don't want to see just Plexus posts from you, it's a quick way to get unfriended. Be personal, connect to the heart, tell stories about you. They really stressed to not post ad-like things. Make it more personal. Don't put the ads up like join my team for $34.95. They don't want, that's not showing them that you want to share it with them. It's showing that you want to work the business part, which you do, but it's not as personal, and people get turned off by that. People know you're doing Plexus, so you don't always have to say, well, thanks to Plexus, I was able to do this, or thanks to Plexus, I was able to do that. If you just simply state, like, it was great, I was able to take my family on vacation. I haven't been able to do that in 6 years, you know, because you don't have to say, well, only because of Plexus. You can once in a while, but if it's constant, you know, that is a turnoff. We talked about commenting etiquette. The one thing is that as ambassadors, if you're in someone's group page, don't ask them, oh, where did you get this person's testimony from? Or can I share this person's testimony? It needs to be known as ambassadors that we know we want to duplicate. You're allowed to duplicate. You can share from others' pages. If you really want to ask, then private message them and say, may I please share your testimony? Otherwise, it looks like as our customers and friends are watching, they see that and they think it's kind of tacky. So if you want to share, or ask privately. Don't comment underneath, oh, you know what those people or products they're taking, or things like that, because then the people don't know, then it kind of looks bad also. But private message. Your own experience will pack the most punch. So show your before picture, show your after pictures. Talk about how you're doing. People want to say that. And they say also ditch the message me and your web link to your web page. People will contact you if they're interested. You don't have to keep telling them or reminding them. It's also more too much of the ad-like, business-like. They want it to be. We want it to be more personal. And Facebook will start to see that as spam also. They say instead of doing your website as www. Use hashtag Stacy's and your business. You know, skinnydrink.com as all in words. Let's see. Smart and so post once a day about your business. Make it personal. Talk about yourself. You know, you shouldn't be posting 20 posts a day. That gets a turn of. I know I overpost too. I am going to be watching that. But, you know, don't make it post. Twice a week, try to do a call to action. Like, oh, you know, this week's my anniversary. You know, suggestions on where we should go for dinner. Things like that. So it's engaging people in other ways besides Plexus as well. but you're making connections still. Also try to do once a week, like a engaging Plexus post, like tell me Tuesday, so people can post Plexus things. Expanding your audience, always trying to get new friends. Go to your husband's page. Like I went to my husband's page and added all his friends onto my business page. But also aim to add 2 more people a week to your business connections, even if it's outside of Facebook. Try to add 2 new people. Nurture your social media relationships, which we talked about, but you also stick with it. Give it time, because you never know who's watching. You never, ever, ever, ever know who's watching you. Sheila Medina, she is an amazing person. She was our first Plexus ambassador. She talked about the power of 3, which I did print out my little chart here, which I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it as well, but pretty much you're the top. If you sign 3 ambassadors, you get them to sign 3 ambassadors, and so on. It's very powerful. At the end, which we can post this on one of our pages, right? It shows you how many doubles you have, how many people, and then how much money you make off of. Can you see that pretty well? I'll post this also. The power of 3. Over and over, you make silver. Then you start getting paid on the first 5 levels in your group. That's the way to really grow your business. Then we had Sheila and Jen talk together about the basics of what to do and what not to do. We talked about the 4 levels of an MLM. For example, a blue person. It's about 4 different personalities. So when you're talking with people and meeting people, you need to really try to gauge what kind of personality they have and how you're going to hook them. So for example, a blue person is a fun person. So you're going to talk about the life of the party. And we have the opportunity to travel. We have the opportunity to win shopping sprees, or to drive a Lexus, or to go to Maui. So that's the way you know that those are going to be your key points. Talk about other things, but that's going to be the things that you know that's going to hook them. Red is money, people who would be really interested in the compensation plan. So you talk about that. You talk about, winning the Lexus. You talk about how you can earn money 11 different ways. How, you could talk about, like, throw in how much you make or someone else is making. That's their hook. Yellow people is, those people like to help people. So you can help them get healthy. You can help people get to financial freedom. Don't you want to help your friends and family lose weight and gain financial freedom? So that's a way to hook those people. And then you have the green people who like the information. They want to know the products. They want to know, how is this helping? How is this? They want to know all of that information. So you really need to try to learn about it could be quick, but it could also be, it's very important to try to do that. You could have gauged them the wrong way, and then you start going one way, and then you realize this person has a couple of them. So you really got to throw that all out. We have the shield of confidence. Did anyone ever see this? We need to post this also. This is really a cool chart that I will post also. It talks about, it's for you, have it all here. The first box is, okay, we offer 60-day money back guarantee. That's great. The other box is scientific evidence, everything that's behind the ingredients. Then we have all the online testimonies. And then we have the phenomenal growth of the company, as well as your testimony, and also know have 2 others available that in your head that you could always share. This is what you should talk about as you're talking with people. The shield of confidence. Share your story plus 2 more people's. And then the last thing I really want to talk about is setting goals. Okay, when you set a goal, I'm in the process of becoming a senior Ruby. I'm in the process of becoming debt-free. I'm not going to say I'm going to be. I'm in the process of doing it. And do I have a timeline? Yes, but the timeline can change. Your goal doesn't need to change. Just change your timeline. Expand your timeline. Don't give up your goals. Write them down, and if you miss it, just go with it for the next one. Change the timeline. And I think that is the last really quick thing is when you're sharing your story, talk about where was I, what I saw, what I did, where I am and where I'm going. Try to keep those key points when you're telling your story and make it personal, and try to filter all the 4 colors so that you're making a connection with, especially with a stranger that you don't know, with those people, and you will make a connection. But know your products and have some stories to share, and that I think is okay. I think it was great. It was like the most amazing thing I've ever done, and I'm going to be on stage with Nora for Emerald next year at convention. All right, so now we're going to have Donna Tan talk to us. Thank you.
All right, guys. The most important thing I took away from this was what happens when we add an ambassador. It's so important that we get them off on the right track. How many of us said, oh, this is going to be a rock star, or I know this person may just want to do wholesale but ends up to be one of your rock stars. So to get them out of the gate as quick and as efficient and as educated as we can, I'm telling you, it's going to make a world of difference. So just a couple of helpful hints on how to do that. So keep in mind, once you sign an ambassador, you become responsible for that person. I mean, you know, they're going to look to you. They're going to look to your upline. They're going to look to their peers for information. But most of the time, you're the one that's going to want to give them all the information. So you have to have your skills. You have to have your knowledge. And if you pass that on to those guys, they're going to succeed. You have to be extremely motivating. And I think the best thing I took away from Tamara Holloway, which was the diamond that spoke in the Senior Ruby portion of the convention, was that you need to follow these people for 1 month. I mean, uncomfortably close, to the point where you're probably a bit of a nag. But I'm telling you, when push comes to shove, they're going to look back in 6 months and be like, you were my favorite nag ever. So here's the deal. So week number 1, they broke it down into weeks. And it's engage, equip, and empower. And those are the 3 qualities that you want to give these ambassadors before you set them free, let them out of their nest, you know, do whatever you want to call it. But the first thing that you do is you want to get them all situated in learning things such as the back office. So important. And a lot of the things that I mentioned now, we're going to have YouTube videos attached to the end of this Zoom, so that you'll be able to reflect on it and copy them and send them too. And with the hopes too is I'm going to put together a checklist and hopefully post it so that, you know, it's easy. Just print it out and just go step by step by step. Okay, so anyway, you're going to want to get them familiar with the back office. First thing you're going to do after that is you're going to tell them to make a list of at least 100 people. 200 people is beneficial, but if they can't think of 200, make them do 100 people. After they do 100 people, take out of that 100 about 20 that we consider a dream team for them. Somebody that they know would buy the products and eventually become ambassadors themselves. So for a new ambassador, 100 people, excuse me, looks overwhelming. 20, not so bad, because we all have at least 20 family members, close friends combined that we can really pinpoint and start, you know, talking to them, sharing with them, those kind of things. You're going to want to set them up with all the face group that we're all set up in. I know that's overwhelming. You don't have any ambassadors that have come to me and said, listen, I can't be in all these Facebook groups. I'm totally blown away, and I don't know where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do. So in any of our group pages, and I know it's in Reef's Rockin', there's a list of really important Facebook groups. And those consist of anybody, your direct upline, any of the testimony ones, you know, Queen Bee, of course, anybody in that genre of people that you're going to want to say, here's somebody that will inspire you. Take from them, copy, paste when you do your own Facebook group, and you'll be well on your way. So try not to overwhelm them with other people on your team right away, that kind of, let them make the judgment call later on if they want to start adding to other Facebook groups. If they're really, really interested in coming right out of the gate right away, suggest the business cards, suggest the pamphlets, any of that stuff again in the back office. But if you want to start a little slower and not overwhelm them, just really one by one each day, pick up the phone, give them a call. Hey, how are you doing? You want to set up a 3-way call? If you're not 100% comfortable, defer to your upline. I've done it before. We've all done it before. If you are just getting your feet wet too, because we have a lot of ambassadors who come the first month and they start adding people. So what you want to do is you want to bring somebody else that's been in the business a little longer in a 3-way call. Those are so effective. If you touch base with these people once a week and say, how's it going? Is there anything else that we haven't touched on that you found that people are asking you? And just feel like you're connected all the time. As your team grows and you're constantly getting messages and you're constantly getting texts, sometimes it becomes overwhelming sometimes, but you step back and you think, okay, you know what? Somebody was there for me when I started, and now it's my turn as their upline to be there for them. So continue to reach out, have them set goals. In the first week, have them just set really small goals. They want to maybe get to really know about the product so that they can speak about it. The major thing that I ask all of my ambassadors to do, and I know you guys do it too, is you ask them straight out, make a why video. Any video group that I have been involved in, whether it was a Going for Gold group or the Road to Emerald group, the most important thing was you get yourself on tape and you make yourself a why. Because when the going gets tough, and we all know it gets tough, you refer right back to that why. And those whys change all the time. Please believe my why 11 months ago is certainly not my why now. And I'm hoping that my why in 11 months has nothing to do with my why now. So that's important for them, is to make sure they know why they're doing this, for what particular reason. So that motivation stays there for them the entire time. Explain to them the power of free that Stacy went over, and we're going to have the YouTube video and how important it is. The best line, and whether I'm in this business for 25 more years or 25 more seconds or whatever it is, the best advice I got way back in August was from Liza, and she said, listen, when you're growing your team, remember, grow wide and deep. And it was a huge joke, but you know what? The more it went on and the more I learned about this company, the more I went, oh, maybe it's funny to say that, but it's truly how you become successful. And you need to then broadcast that to your ambassadors, make them understand that, here it is, wide and deep. And all of a sudden, they're going to start to realize how quick this business can take off. Try to influence them to get in on those Sunday calls on the evening. Any of those dream team calls are so super exciting. I don't know anybody who's hung up the phone or shut off their Zoom and thought, well, that was a waste of my time. I have never, and I'm quite sure anybody that I've ever spoken to hasn't either. Let me think, a couple of more things. Make them accountable. If you talk to them on Monday and they say they're going to talk to 2 people by Wednesday, you text them or you call them on Wednesday and you say, how'd that go? And if they sound like they're, let me help. Bring that person on the phone. Again, those 3-way calls are so uber important because you can hear the excitement in someone's voice. Even just the silly microphone text messages, you can hear the excitement in someone's voice is so much more powerful than just typing words or emails or any of that stuff. Be a product of your products. And again, Stacy touched on that too. We can't possibly speak about anything that we have not tried or tested or known somebody who's tried or tested. I personally don't take the P96 shake, but I know a ton of people who do. So I just say, okay, give me the lowdown. Let me know what's going on, because when I want to be able to speak about it. So if it's not a product that you're familiar with, reach out. There's always somebody else that's taken it and can really give you the right way to take it, some helpful hints, some pros and cons, all that kind of stuff. I'm huge with the products. I have spent my last 11 months basically memorizing them. So anybody ever want to reach out to me, I'm more than willing to help you or speak to somebody. Know the difference. Tell them to know the difference right away between preferred and retail. I personally, I never offer retail. This would be my scenario if you were to call me and say I'm interested in the products, and I'd say, okay, here's the deal. You and I are going to go over what we think is beneficial for what your needs are, and then order preferred. Several reasons. It's cheaper. I don't have to bug you in a month to tell you to order again. And after 3 months, you'll get a huge discount. It's a win-win. I don't even say the word retail. I don't even like the word retail. I don't say it. I don't do any of that stuff. So I try to, you know, escort people down the preferred route all the time. Of course, there are people who come back and say, oh, what's this retail, you know, option? And then, of course, you explain it to them. But, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're going to take your advice. If they've reached out because, you know, they trust you and they've seen your posts and stuff like that, they're certainly going to take your advice when it comes to preferred. And now, as we all know, it's really easy for customers to go in and put their stuff on hold and whatever. The other thing too is, you know, so that was engage them in conversation, engage them in videos, engage them in meetings, go for coffee, go to lunch. I think I've eaten more lunch in the last 11 months than I have in the last 4 or some odd years that I've been around, because that's what you do. Again, it's the face-to-face thing. Okay, equip them with the Facebook groups, equip them with information, you know, download every file that's in Reefs Rockin' or Queen P or Team Plexi, any of those things. Download them all and just go through them, hand them out, that kind of stuff. You can never be too educated in this business, and people are going to appreciate the more educated you are, and the more educated you sound, the better off you're going to be in business. Now, empower. Here's the huge thing. Now, you've gone through, you know, week 1, week 2, they've done their why, and they're, maybe they've got their first customer, and maybe they're feeling a little better, and they're starting to post on Facebook, like Stacy said, a couple of times a day, and they're feeling really good. Now empower them. Turn it around on them. Make them feel like they're doing such an awesome job. You know, now, maybe not bug them so much, just a quick text. You know what? I saw your post on Facebook, and you rock. No wonder why you're getting so many hits on it. You know, I can't believe how awesome you look. You know, turn it around. Make them feel like, you know, in the first 3 weeks, when they're this tiny little fish in this huge fishbowl that we're all in, make them feel that they really are rising up to the top. And if somebody feels like they're doing that, week 4, week 5, week 6, they're going to skyrocket on their own. They're going to sail because you've given them the tools to do that. You know, and then the hardest part, and this is where I'm guilty, huge guilty, and if anybody on my team is watching this video in the future, you're going to be like, yep, that's her. I have a problem letting my little birds out of the nest. I really, really do. I have a hard time, even people that have been in business 10 months that could run a team way better than me, I still check in with them once a week because I still have that overwhelming sense of feeling like maybe they need something and I didn't reach out and that kind of stuff. So right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't know that I can push my birds out of the nest as quick as others, but you'll know who you can push out of the nest and who you can't. And you'll get a feel for it right away. And as time goes on, you'll be able to pinpoint who those rock stars are. And the other statistic that I came away with that I thought was awesome was out of 100% of ambassadors that you have, whether you have 20 of them or 4,000 of them, out of 100% of them, 20% only are those rock stars, 20%. And you'll know it. You'll know it within the first couple of months. Who's going to take this to the same place that we are and who just wants to do this for a couple $100 a month or just because they simply want to get their products at retail or for wholesale. Take that 20% and hold them tightly. Nurture them. Talk to them. Visit with them. I can't tell you how important it is to really keep the lines of communication open. And that 20% will be your wide, and then they'll find their 20%, and that'll be your deep, and it'll just continue to grow. And really, if I can leave you with anything, that's what I need to leave you with. Don't worry about all of the others. Don't worry about that one that just has 150 PV every month. Let them go. Let them go until they reach back out to you. Those type of people I reach out to once a month and I say, hey, you need anything? Anything going on? And I get a quick, nope, we're good. Okay, then I'm done for the next month. Take all your eggs and put it in that 20% basket. And I'm telling you, you're going to have so much more energy for these people, and you're going to feel so good about the outcome of it. So again, engage them, equip them with all the knowledge, empower them, and if you're stronger than me, you'll let them out of their nest, and they'll do an awesome job. Thanks. Next up, Jody.
Hey guys, I am going to do Troy Dooley. He was an awesome speaker that I've heard a couple times since we've started Plexus, but he stresses 8 pillars to success, and I'm going to go over those today along with a couple of other things. The first pillar of success that he said was clarity. And with clarity, it's pretty simple. You need to learn your products. You need to be clear about your products. If you have not already done so, then log into your back office. It's one of the first things that I give my ambassadors is go under resources in your back office and learn your products. It's such easy, simple ways to learn, so utilize that. Another thing that I did to get clarity was I read tons and tons of testimonies so that I believed in the products. And once I believed in the products, I mean, it's really, really easy to share them. Clarity also with YouTube videos, and everybody said it, I think almost everybody said it, create your why. Give clear expectations to your team, give them daily, weekly, and monthly tasks. So that's really what he kind of went over with clarity. Compassion, I think compassion is huge. If you don't have compassion for our products, if you don't have compassion for our business, then, I mean, who's gonna wanna buy it from you? When I talk about the products, I literally like almost jump out of my skin because I'm so compassionate about them. So care beyond yourself. When he talked about being compassionate, you got to care beyond yourself. You have to care about that person that you're talking to, that single mom that needs extra money, that person that has migraines, or that person that that has health concerns, that you can help with them. Be compassionate to them. Don't just talk, don't just blabber. Make sure you listen to your customers and your ambassadors and actually know what they need to learn about or what you can help them with. Be a good listener. If you show compassion to your team, then they're going to pass that on and they're going to show compassion to their team. So definitely be really compassionate. If you don't, one of the things he said is, do you have belief? Do you believe in your products? Do you believe that the products work? Do you believe that our compensation plan is amazing? Because one thing I took away from convention was we are blessed to be a part of this company. We are so lucky. I can't tell you how many times I've cried. I could cry now just thinking about it. But do you know how lucky we are to be a part of this company? If you don't, then you need to find that. You need to find your compassion. And if you don't have it, it's okay, but go to your upline and admit it and have them help you find that compassion. That's what we're here for. So reach out. You'll hear me say, reach out to your upline a million times in this conversation. His third pillar to success was character. What happens when nobody's watching? How do you act when nobody's watching? Do what is right, not what is easy. He said that a couple of times. It's much easier to do what's right, or to do what's easy and not what's right. So he really stressed to do what's right, not what's easy. Be someone that people look up to. So again, on Facebook, be positive on Facebook. Don't be airing out your dirty laundry on Facebook. Nobody's going to buy something from somebody that's complaining about how awful they sleep, or how they have no energy or whatever. So make sure that you have character and you're being a good influence. Competency. That was number 4. You must have competency to grow a team. So educate yourself on the compensation plan. Be competent in what you're sharing. Who's your mentor? Who's your coach? Again, he really stressed to use your upline. So that was number 4. Number 5 was commitment. Commit to your customers, commit to your team. To be committed, it takes sacrifice. Be willing to accept and fix your failures. Be willing to give and receive constructive criticism. There's a difference between being committed and being willing to do whatever it takes. So make sure that you're committed. I, from the very beginning, knew that this could change my life. So I committed from the very beginning to learning about the products, to educating myself about the products, to watching YouTube videos, to reading the resources in the back office. I really committed to learning more about the products. being committed, if that means getting up a half an hour earlier, then get up a half an hour earlier before your kids. If it means staying up an hour later after the kids, stay up an hour later, whatever it takes. If you are committed, then I really believe that you will succeed. So being committed. For me, what are you willing to give up? I literally haven't watched. I used to be addicted to The Bachelor, every reality show that there was, and I stopped. I don't watch that anymore. I would much rather learn about Plexus. I'd much rather read testimonies. I'd much rather speak to my uplines and learn more about, you know, how I could, what I could be doing different. So be committed. I think that's really an important pillar. Number 6 was connection. Connect with your team, connect with your customer, connect with your uplines, connect with your sidelines. I tell my ambassadors, don't just connect with me. When you see people in our group and you see a testimony that you like, friend request them and tell them, oh my gosh, I loved your testimony. What are you taking? What products are you taking? And make relationships. So make connections. A lot of the Diamond ambassadors, they always stress love on your team and they will love you back. If you're not connecting with your team, how many times, or how many of us that have been doing this for a year or so that don't make a connection with one of our teammates, how many white lines do we have? So they really, really stress connect with your team. If you not connect and pour into your customers, they also may leave you. So connect with your customers, not only your team, connect with your customers, follow up, see how they're doing, ask them how they're taking their products. Don't just assume that they're taking them by the directions that you give them, because they're not always. So connect with your customers. A lot of times I hear, if you make people feel good, they will never leave you. So make sure that your customers are feeling good. Make sure that your teammates don't need anything. Make sure that your downline is doing good and they don't need anything from you. Number 7 was contribution. Give back. When you're willing to give back, you can really change people's lives. So contribution is pretty self-explanatory. And then number 8, I think, is one of the most important as well, is consistency. It's so important to be consistent with your products. Really, really important to be consistent with your products. If you're not having results on your products, then reach up to your upline and say, this is what I'm doing. What could I be doing differently? Should I be taking a different product? Should I be, you know, what could you do to be successful with your products? So being consistent with your products and your business, your Facebook posts. Some people get so frustrated that they're not getting any customers, and I look back and they haven't posted in a month. How do you expect to get customers if you're not sharing these amazing testimonies? So be consistent with your Facebook posts. Be consistent with talking to people. And some people say, I can't talk to people, I freeze up. I couldn't talk to people when I first started Plexus. I stuttered each time, and now I could talk all day long about Plexus. So be consistent with talking to people. Be consistent with everything in your business. Again, with your Facebook posts, I thought for a while, oh, what's the point of having Facebook? Nobody's watching me anymore. Everybody's so sick of my posts. It was so incorrect, because I still have people to this day, a year later, messaging me and saying, okay, I'm ready now. I'm really ready now. And another thing that I stress is picking up the phone. When somebody says I'm ready, the first thing I say is, can you talk? And I pick up the phone. And if I get them on the phone, they hear it in my voice, they hear the passion in my voice, they hear how amazing I think these products are, and 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, they purchase. So I say get them on the phone. That's one of my big advice that I give you. When we talk about consistency, there's a lot of ambassadors that come to me and say, I'm being consistent. I'm doing the same thing every day, day in and day out. But know with consistency, if what you're doing is not working, then maybe you need to change what you're doing a little bit. And again, reach up to your upline. Share with them what you are doing. You know, some people on Facebook, I see they're posting these cute little advertisements, like Stacy said, you know, cute little things about Plexus. That's not what people want to see. They don't want to see cute little advertisements. They want to see life-changing testimonies. They want to see before and after pictures. They want to read how people's migraines are going away. I just had a customer that's been in my group for about a year. I posted a testimony about how a nurse is taking it. She just happened to be a nurse. She saw it that day and she called me and she said, I'm finally ready. So post different kinds of testimonies. So be consistent. That was the 8 pillars to success. I was so worried about going over my time that I kind of just rolled right through that. So another thing that I wanted to go, my favorite convention takeaways and just a couple little fun facts that I took away from it. one of them is huge, and I feel like a lot of us do this, and it needs to be addressed, is do not compare yourself to others. There's so many people that say, oh, why is she so successful, but I'm doing the same thing and I'm not successful. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't be jealous. There's so many people that, oh, how did she get silver? I'm doing the same thing. Reach up to your upline and I'll help you get silver. Don't be jealous. Comparison is the thief of joy. They've said that several times in all of our meetings. So don't compare yourself to others. A lot of the diamonds this weekend or last week at convention said, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. It matters of who you become on the journey. So I can tell you, I'm so different now than I was a year ago when I started this business. I was kind of selfish in the beginning. I really wanted customers. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to get 4 customers specifically to pay for my products because I couldn't afford them. And then as the customers started having results, my heart changed and I wanted to help people. It wasn't about the money anymore. So make sure that you're in it for the right reason and not just for the money. And I think once you've really truly changed your heart, I think really good things will happen. A fun fact about Celeste Gwynn, who is the first double diamond in Plexus, she said that she was a preferred customer for 9 months before joining Plexus. So that kind of just made me feel like just because somebody says no the first time, it does not mean that it means no forever. So check back with them. If they're a preferred customer and they've been a preferred customer, you know, Celeste being a preferred customer for 9 months, she was a stay-at-home mom. She was very happy being a stay-at-home mom. She didn't want a job. And then finally, she joined. She told her family, just like I told mine, this is going to be a sacrifice. I'm going to put everything that I have into this business. And I told my kids the same thing. If you're patient with mommy for a little while, I promise you that I'm going to work hard so I can be a stay-at-home mom again. I told them to bear with me. If I'm on my phone a little bit more, which is their little complaint, I'm on my phone a little bit more. It's not because I'm messaging and joking around. It's because I'm helping somebody. I'm changing somebody's lives. And because I've sacrificed a little bit, I, in 10 months, was able to become debt-free. You all know that I was able to leave my job, my full-time job, and be a stay-at-home mom again. So my sacrifice was it has totally paid off. I really feel like dreaming big, like when we say post our goals, post your goals, write them down. And I'm not talking like, I want to have 1 preferred customer this month. I am a believer of dreaming big and set high goals, realistic goals, but where some people are posting, I want to have 1 person join my team. I really feel like our goals, especially as seasoned ambassadors, is to have the power of 3, like Stacy said. Have your goal be having 3 people join you this month. It's a very realistic goal. Another fun fact that I took away was it took Sarah Marvel 7 months to achieve silver. She's now very, very successful diamond. Hopefully you guys all subscribe to her YouTube videos because they're awesome. But 7 months to silver. It doesn't matter, again, how long it takes you to get there. As long as you're consistent and you have passion for this business and the products, you will get there. Prospect list. Donna said, again, make a list of 100 people. All the diamonds at convention said, up that, make a list of 200 people. I had been doing this for almost a year when I finally made my list of 100. If I can make a list of 100 after a year of doing this, of people that haven't tried Plexus or people that I want on my team, you can certainly go through your Facebook friends, you can go through your phone contacts, your kids' friends, parents, you know, play groups. You can always expand your horizons in your friends. Another thing that they stress that I never really thought about our business this way is we are the CEOs of our own business. How huge is that? So I never really thought of myself as a CEO of my own business, but we really are. Engaging your team from the start. Put time and love into your team from the very start, and they stress that it will pay off in the end. So train them really good from the beginning, and then let them fly, as Donna said. I have a little bit of a hard time letting them fly too, but that's just who I am. Again, Donna said this, but it really stuck out to me, is 80% of your business will come from 20% of your team. And I heard that so many times at convention. So pour into that 20%, give them your heart, give them your time, give them I'm so available. I tell that to everybody. I'm so available. If you need me, just reach out to me. I'm here. Another huge thing I feel like they stressed at convention is launch parties. And I can say, shout out to one of my level 2s, Claudia. She had 10 people over. Erin Carter and I did a launch party for her. And by the time everybody left, 10 people ordered preferred. And I think all of them were ordered triplex. So schedule your launch parties. If you want to get a good jump start to your business, schedule launch parties. 100%. They're so successful. And your upline helps you. So take advantage of that. I love this saying. There's no secret to success. There's a system to success. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Go to your upline and ask them what they did. How did you get to where you are? And I really feel like those that are following my advice and Erin's advice and Liza's advice, don't try to recreate the wheel. Just do what we did. It's kind of simple. And then the last thing that I want to kind of stress is that leaders are born at events. The Leaders Retreat just came out, and I hope that every single one of you is trying to earn Leaders Retreat, because last year we were all pretty new and we all earned Leaders Retreat. It's very achievable, and I really feel like that's my first taste of how real this company is, how fun this company is, how blessed to be a part of this company we are. And it's just life-changing. These events are life-changing. So my last bit of advice is to really just make these events, and that's it. Oh, and now it's Erin O'Keefe on.
I am still learning how to Zoom. One of the best parts about going towards the end is that everyone does all the work for you. So a lot of these amazing women on my team have already said a lot of what I'm going to say. So I'm just going to really try to drive home some of the key points that I really took away from convention. You know, I went there thinking they're going to teach us how to sign more customers, or they're going to teach us how to grow our teams or sign ambassadors. And the truth is, the entire convention was about personal development, how to develop yourself personally, how to build yourself up and how to build your team up, and all the other stuff just falls into place. You can talk to people easier, you can grow your team easier. And, you know, I'm just going to share some of the things that they said. You know, after Liza and I went to this Jules meeting, and I looked right at her and I told her, you know, it's about identifying your strengths and weaknesses. And I looked at her and I told her, this is what I'm not good at. This is what I'm going to work at. And some of them are personal that I'm not going to share, but I'm going to put out to the universe, you guys, what I do need to work on as your leader. I know I need to do a better job at these Zoom meetings and conferences, and I really need to get a handle on my files section in my Facebook group. So that is what I am going to work on as your leader. I promise you, because I said it here on this meeting, I know that I have to do it now. Hi, Jack. So anyways, personal development. We've heard it before. Donna talked about it. Your why. Your why, if you want to make it big in this company, your why needs to make you cry. Did you listen to Jody? I think she cried 3 times in that message. I was crying right along with her. Whenever we go to meetings, when people tell their why, there are tears in the audience. There are tears in the person telling their why, and there are tears in the audience. Even Angie Thompson, she came to our Super Saturday. She's been probably told her story 40 million times. She choked up, you know, so it's real. This company is real. These whys are real. They affect us. They affect real people. Even our Teddy cried at our panel meeting. I just blew him up just like that. Sorry, Teddy. Okay, so your why should make you cry. Building belief. I know we already talked about it, but when you have belief, there is nothing more powerful. And I heard a great quote. It said, be more confident than they are skeptic. So we have skeptics. We were all skeptics, all 6 of us. We were all like, I don't know about this pink drink thing. I think these people are crazy. And the people that signed us up were confident enough to share it with us. And when you're confident, when you own Plexus, when you own this product in your business, there's no stopping you. And at the Jules meeting that Liza and I went to, someone said, I can't remember who said it, but they said, you know, when you look at Sonia and you look at Helen and when you look at Celeste, they don't waver. They have complete faith in this company, complete faith in our products, and they would never waver on how confident and, you know, how much belief that they have. If you do not have belief, please get on those weekly calls from the company. There are life-changing stories. Go to meetings. In my group alone, there's 1,600 people. There are life-changing stories in Pink Superstars alone. Connect with the people in there. Learn their stories. If you don't have your own story, start creating one, whatever it might be. I do not have a huge health story. My story is about, you know, this income-producing job that's changed my life. So create whatever story you have. And, you know, when you have belief, you are bold, and that develops you personally, and people want to follow you. They trust you more. So building belief was huge. Social credit. We talked a lot about that, about how to conduct yourself and how to conduct yourself on Facebook. If you're selling a healthcare product, like Jody said, you don't want to complain about how you're tired or you have no energy, or you especially, please don't be taking Facebook pictures of you doing shots or funneling a beer. I've seen it. I've seen you guys do it, and don't put it on Facebook. So, you know, you really want to have this persona and you want to conduct yourself in a professional way. People are not going to buy from you. Listen, I'm not perfect. You know I like my wine, but I'm not posting it on Facebook except for in the stairwell in Arizona with Liza when we climbed 19 flights of the glass line. It was her birthday. I have to say, before I did Plexus, I might have posted on Facebook about my family, about my life, maybe once a month. I was not a poster. And I started doing that because you have to create some sort of following. And then when people start following you and you start popping up in their news feed, and all of a sudden, Plexus pops up. Then they're thinking about you when, you know, maybe they're having a bad day or they just got off the scale. Well, now your name comes to their mind. So start creating a following. You know, you've seen Jody with her crazy eyeballs. Like, she creates a following. But she has this crazy following just from her silly faces and her silly posts. And then when Plexus pops up, people love her and adore her so much that they want to join her, and they want to, whatever she's doing, they want a part of it because she just is fun. So listen, we all have bad days. You know, we all kind of I had a bad day today. I'm not posting about it on Facebook. The last one was pouring into people. I love this one because some people just do it naturally. Like, you just throw love on people, and, you know, other people really have to work on it. But Jody says this all the time. I don't remember where we heard it from, but people don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care. They want to know how much you care about them. And if they might not even love the products, but if they know you love them and care about them, they just might want to join your team because they just want to be a part of your life. I truly believe that. So yes, we do have to know our products. I don't mean to not know your products, but we have to pour love into people. The last story I want to leave you with, Celeste was asked a question actually on a diamond panel. How long did it take you to become a double diamond? And the answer is about, 2.5 years, right? So she's been doing this just over 2 years. But her answer was, it took me 37 years. That's how old she is. Because for 37 years, she developed relationships, she created a following, she poured love into people, and then just when Plexus came along, she had all these people that loved her so much. Whatever she's good, Celeste could go join a circus, and everyone's going to join the circus with her. So she just happened to sign up for Plexus, and everyone wanted to sign up with it because they love her, because she threw love into them. So that's so important. I thought that was one of the greatest lines I've heard all week. So those are just the things I wanted to talk about, but we're going to finish here with Liza, but I really want to thank you women who went before me, because this just goes to show you can never know enough. You can never learn enough. I just learned multiple things from the 4 people that went before me. So thank you, the 4 of you, Nora, Stacy, Jody, and Donna. Thank you for sharing what you did, because I just learned from you. So last but not least, our host tonight, Liza.
All right. Like Erin said, it's pretty awesome going last because so many people touched on so many awesome things that we had the opportunity to learn and listen to at convention. two things that I took away from the Jules session on Saturday. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but get your pen and paper out. Our keynote speaker was Laura Stark, S-T-A-R-K. She talked about time management. I'm an educator, so we get time management sessions all the time, but this time management session was specific, actually giving us specific things to do in order to increase productivity and manage our business. So I highly encourage you to look her up. She was absolutely phenomenal. And then second, the Emerald Ambassador who spoke at the Jules meeting was Natalie Fowler. She's our Canadian Emerald Ambassador. She was fantastic. And she talked about leadership. And if you're watching this conference right now, you are a leader. You're becoming a leader. So she talked about, we all know what the qualities or characteristics of a leader are. Honest, good communicator, creative, inspirational. But it needs to be more than that. We really need to self-evaluate. We read books. We figure out our language when it comes to being a leader. We strengthen our leadership skills. But again, it needs to be more than that. We need to act. We really need to become leaders, building those relationships, following others. You've heard several different people tonight talk about going and looking and duplicating what those diamonds are doing. That's what we need to be doing. We want people to follow us because they want to, not because they have to. That's huge. So I know mine, it was really quick, but we're kind of at an hour and I want you to continue. I want you to have fun listening to this conference. So I'm going to leave you with one quote that was given to us by Natalie, and that is, management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. So on that note, if everybody can take their mutes off. So I am going to post this. Hopefully I can figure it out. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm going to post this in my group page, which is Reef Rockin' Ambassadors. Erin will do it in Pink Superstars. And then all the leaders also on the page will post it in their groups as well. And boy, let's watch it make wildfire, which I think is going to be really, really super cool. I want to thank Stacy and Donna and Nora and Jody and Erin. I know it's not easy to get on a weeknight. Look at Jack back there. So thank you very much for taking the time, and to all of you watching this conference, whether you watch it in the morning or you're watching it at night after your own kids go to bed, thank you so much for making the time and the commitment to watch it, and we can't wait to see what happens. June already, it's June 11th. It's been an amazing month. Everybody's nodding their heads. On that note, everybody have an awesome night, and again, thank you to everybody. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.